Y'all like, comment, and subscribe. We back with another reaction video. This time we're going to be doing a cartoon conspiracy theory video. So we gonna see what's up.
Could you use up to $800? Find it at BioLife. Up to $800 is waiting for you. Just donate plasma, get paid for each donation the same day, then treat yourself.
This story is completely false. Krabs was never a chef in the Navy. In fact, Mr. Krabs was never in the Navy. He completely made that story up to escape from his past life. Actually, he's been lying to everyone in town so he doesn't have to go to jail. But that's not the only lie he's been telling to gain something. So join me as we explore the Mr. Krabs theory. Mr. Krabs is the wealthy owner of the Krusty Krab, but apart from owning the restaurant, he's also living a lie. Throughout the show, he's convinced everyone in town that he was a sailor in the Navy before he opened the restaurant. And in the episode Krusty Krab training video, we see that in full action. At the start of the video any new employee would see, Krabs goes on about his past and how he fought in a war before he bought the Rusty Krab.
After the war, Krabs stayed secluded in a deep depression that seemed endless.
He also talks about his time in the Navy in episodes like Pull Up a Barrel and The Hankering. But in Season 4, Episode 2, Shell of a Man, Mr. Krabs reveals a lot about his Navy days. In the episode, Mr. Krabs is going to a reunion to meet his Navy buddies, so he digs up his old Navy chest so he can wear his uniform. Just as he's about to leave, his shell falls off. So to make an appearance, he has SpongeBob put on his shell and pretend to be him. But he doesn't trust SpongeBob, so he goes to the event in secret. Surprisingly, SpongeBob actually does a pretty good job of pretending to be Krabs. He even receives a trophy from their former captain. But just as he's about to leave, he gets exposed. Krabs ends up coming to his rescue, but he's forced to show that he's not as strong as he used to be. However, everyone on the crew thinks he's manly for exposing himself, and the episode ends. It's a nice episode, has a great storyline and everything, but sadly, it's entirely a lie. And this is because in Season 6, Episode 15, Grandpappy the Pirate, we get a clue about what Krabs' real job was. In the episode, Krabs reveals that his grandfather is a pirate. His grandfather influenced him when he was a baby, and so he ended up becoming a pirate and followed in his grandfather's footsteps. But after realizing that there's no money in piracy, he decided to fire his crew and sell the ship. After that, he opened the Krusty Krab. So here's a question. Apart from his grandfather and himself, is anyone in the family a pirate? Or are they kind of the oddballs in the family? Well, we get an answer to that question in the episode Senior Discount. After fighting with Old Man Jenkins about elders, both of them try to get their older relatives who can overrule each other. In this montage, we see Krabs call his grandfather's father, and pretty much all of his ancestors. But the most interesting guy in the crowd is Krabs' great-great-great-grandfather. The guy is a hook for a hand and is clearly dressed like a pirate. It turns out he influenced his kid to become a pirate because Krabs' great-great-grandfather hated spending money, which was revealed in the episode Pest of the West.
My great-great-grandpappy Krabs invented the greatest thing since loose change, the spendthrift billfold system.
This led to Krabs' great-grandfather and his grandfather to become pirates, and eventually, because of them, Krabs became a pirate. But what about Krabs' dad? So it may come as a shock, but Krabs actually had a dad. In episodes like Senior Discount and Mamageddon, he had a pretty decent relationship with his son. But is he also a pirate? The short answer is yes. Basically, when Krabs was a kid in Friend or Foe, his father wasn't around. We know that his grandfather was on a ship when he was younger, so his father was probably away doing something like that. The point is that there's not much to say about the guy considering he's been in 2 episodes. But he probably was a pirate. This impact from his entire family led to Krabs wanting to continue the family business. After his grandfather influenced him when he was a baby, he started growing up and wanting to become a pirate. In the Camp Coral episode Camp Crossbones, Krabs would play pirate all day when he was a kid. And this pirate influence rubbed off on him because it still impacts how he acts as an adult. Like in the Season 1 episode Arg, Krabs gets his hand on a pirate ship to find treasure. He even calls SpongeBob and Patrick his crew. But the biggest hint we get to Krabs' past is in Season 3, Episode 9, Wet Painters. Just looking at the stuff around his house, there's a ton of pirate-related things. Like, why does Krabs have an image of a pirate? Also, why is the pirate human? There's also an image of a boat in the ocean. The interesting thing is there's a huge skull indicating that it's a pirate ship. He even has an image of a chest with the words "The Spot" written under it. He also has a hat with a skull on it. There's another map with a ship and an X. And the last pirate-related thing is a map with a skull on it. If Krabs wasn't a pirate, why would he have all this stuff? It's not like his family comes to visit much considering they barely show up in the show. For Krabs to have all this stuff, he would actually have to care about it. And to do that, he has to be a pirate. So why would Krabs lie about being in the Navy? After all, Krabs revealed that pirates hate the Navy in the episode Pull Up a Barrel. Well, it's actually pretty simple. Being a pirate is illegal. Krabs' grandfather, Redbeard, is named after the very real and very illegal Blackbeard. But then, what about the Navy meat and all of Krabs' Navy stuff? Is that all fake? Well, there's a simple way to explain all that. So remember Krabs' captain, the guy who gave SpongeBob the award in Shell of a Man? Well, there's someone who looks very similar to him. In the Season 4 episode Whale of a Birthday, for a few frames, there's a picture behind Krabs. The fish in the picture and the captain look awfully similar. They're both light blue, they're both wearing a blue uniform, and they even both have that on their uniform. In fact, if you remove the eye patch on the hat, it just looks like the captain himself, just younger. In fact, we see the same picture 8 seasons later in the Season 12 episode Pookie Cooks. For some reason, the fish is a different color, but that's not important in this episode. As Krabs throws his and Mrs. Puff's food, we see another picture of a pirate ship in his house. As the food melts the ship, a pirate in blue comes out of the ship. But wait, we've seen this blue uniform before in Krabs' Navy chest. What is a pirate doing wearing the same uniform? So it turns out that Krabs has been lying this entire time about being in the Navy. His Navy buddies and his captain were all pirates, and now they've disguised themselves to not go to jail. Even his own father dresses like a normal guy to hide from his past. But this isn't the only lie Krabs has been telling around town.
So he used to be a pirate. Okay.
I don't have time to go around and film B-roll all day.
Cause I thought they were saying he was telling people that he was a pirate and he wasn't a pirate. But they're saying he is a pirate.
I thought it would be like it's creepy.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be creepy too. Bro, like I should put creepy cartoon conspiracy theories. Cause niggas talking about he not a pirate. Man, get this kid and shit out of my face. Alright. You want to finish?
I make my own music and take photos of food. I just use Storyblocks. Storyblocks is a complete...
That's the same sound effect.
So if lying about his past life wasn't enough, Krabs has started making up stories on how he invented the secret formula. In the Season 5 episode Friend or Foe, he, Plankton, and Karen slowly reveal how Krabs accidentally invented the secret formula. But this completely goes against what Krabs said a season before in the episode Enemy-in-Law. After Plankton started dating Krabs' mother, he decided to confront him. While telling him to stay away from his mother, Krabs mentioned that the formula is an old Krabs family recipe.
Of course she does. It's an old Krabs family recipe.
But there's a secret third story in the Camp Coral episode Kitchen Sponge. In the episode, it's revealed that it was SpongeBob who invented the formula when he was a kid. So then, what's the real story? Well, a lot of you might be wondering, why am I talking about Camp Coral? It's not even canon. There's so many inconsistencies between the shows that it's not even worth mentioning. Well, the answers lie in the exact same episode. So looking at the episode, Mr. Krabs needs someone to help Plankton cook. After everyone leaves, he gets stuck with SpongeBob. But despite being a child, SpongeBob can cook really well. He uses a bunch of random ingredients to make dishes which Krabs obviously isn't a fan of. So to impress Krabs, SpongeBob makes a patty for a few pennies. Krabs loves the patty so much he gets rid of everything else on the menu. But Plankton is randomly convinced that he can use the burger to take over the world. So he tries to steal the secret formula. After a bit of a chase, the formula gets burned by Sandy's automatic campfire. It seems to be an accident until it's revealed that it was all part of Sandy's plan. So here's the thing, if Camp Coral isn't canon, then how is Sandy talking to her younger self? This would mean that Camp Coral is in the past. Anyways, they continue talking and younger Sandy talks about how the plan worked. But listen carefully to what she says.
Your plan worked perfectly. The formula burned out before Mr. Plankton could nab it.
So this was all Sandy's plan? How did she know the formula was almost gonna get discovered? Is this one of the cases where Sandy had to intervene in the past or the universe would explode or something? Well, sorta. As they continue talking, Sandy reveals something huge.
Good work, little Sandy. I knew sending you to Camp Coral was the right thing to do.
Just hear it one more time.
Good work, little Sandy. I knew sending you to Camp Coral was the right thing to do.
Wait, so Sandy sent herself to Camp Coral? It may not seem like it, but we actually get a ton of information from this sentence. If Sandy sent herself to Camp Coral, it means that canonically, Camp Coral has to exist. Her messing with the past led to a bunch of inconsistencies, but Camp Coral had to exist for herself to send her there. Also, in the special Creepaway camp, everyone from Camp Coral goes to a reunion. We even see all the exclusive Camp Coral characters all grown up. So, does this mean that SpongeBob discovered the formula? No. The thing you gotta remember is that SpongeBob used this formula long after it was actually invented. Despite whoever originally made it, it had to have been a long time ago, so SpongeBob didn't discover the formula. But there is something interesting that comes from this revelation. If Camp Coral is canon, then Mr. Krabs must have owned the camp. But how would he do that if he was being a pirate? Well, the easiest way to understand this is through Pearl. So it turns out when Krabs was a pirate, he didn't have Pearl. In fact, Mr. Krabs' own grandfather doesn't even know that he has a granddaughter. Considering the last time they met Krabs didn't have Pearl, it means that this is before Krabs opened Camp Coral. From Camp Coral, we know that when Mr. Krabs ran the place, Pearl was just a baby. This would mean that after being a pirate, Mr. Krabs opened Camp Coral to earn money. So if it wasn't SpongeBob who discovered the formula, then who? Well, it probably wasn't a bunch of pirates, but what about Mr. Krabs' mother? After all, Krabs claimed that she knew the formula in the episode Enemy-in-Law. But for the formula to be an old recipe, it would have to be made by some old relative. Unfortunately, we don't know anyone in her family, except one person. So in the entire show, we don't know anything about Mr. Krabs' mother's old family. But in the comic books, we learn about Mr. Krabs' uncle, who would be his mother's brother. Sadly, all we know is that the guy was an adventurer. So we can never truly figure out if it was an old Krabs family recipe. Well, actually, there's just one thing. See, when Krabs mentions the recipe, he calls it an old Krabs family recipe.
Of course he does. It's an old Krabs family recipe.
Now you have to remember that Mr. Krabs' full name is Eugene Krabs. He got the name from the dad's side of his family, meaning that all their last names are also Krabs. But what about Mr. Krabs' mother? From the episode Cracked Krabs, we know that not all Krabs have the last name Krabs. What the hell was that sentence? Well, from the same comic book, we figured out that her brother's last name was Quarter Crab. She probably had the same last name, meaning she didn't create the formula, and Krabs lied about it being an old Krabs family recipe to throw Plankton off. Krabs has been living a secret life as a former sailor to throw off the police. His reality of being a pirate has been hidden from the public. Only SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward know the truth. He also lied about the formula being an old Krabs family recipe to throw Plankton off. Krabs truly is a bad guy. So that's the video. I hope you guys liked it. I'll see y'all in the next one.
You see? It wasn't that much longer. So what's your opinion on it? What's your opinion on that video?
Okay.
It's a little debrief.
It was a cool little video, for sure. And I feel like we should stick to more creepy. Yeah.
Summer Friday's jet lag collection is so good at hydrating my skin when it's looking dry. Use the eye patches to start and follow up with the soothing jet lag.
Shut your ass up! Thank you.
I wouldn't have known any of that if it wasn't for this guy. So shout out to I forgot his name. Let's see. Shout out to Spot for the video, and that was a really cool video. I guess there's a little bit more, but we're gonna end it there, and we're gonna get y'all back. Let us know what y'all think down below.
Yeah, and let us know what y'all want us to watch. What do y'all want us to react to?
Yeah.
Give us suggestions in the comments.
Please.
Na festa do fim de semana, só rolê bom. Ela chega e desencana com passo bem sou, passo bem sou, passo bem sou. Na festa do fim de semana.